All right, so tomorrow there's a summative, and it has on it parametrics and probability stuff, and then it has some review, eccentricity, completing the square, finishing up conics. It also has the optional 7.3, 7.4a writing equations on conics if you need to do that one. All right. I said worksheet 6. If you don't have time to get that one done, whatever, for the homework check, but it's all on the quiz. Is that your question? Okay. Oh, on the quiz. Gotcha. 7.4b is not optional. Everybody has to do the retake. 7.4a is optional only if you need it. Okay? Any questions? And I'm thinking on 7.4a, if you do it and I grade it and then I go to put it in the grade book, it's going in. Okay? So if you don't, you need to know if you're redoing it or not, because I'm not going to take time to grade it and then find out that it wasn't one you should have done. No, I don't care about the remediation. Make sure you're ready for it, but I'm not going to worry about you handing me remediation, okay? All right. So let's just kind of do some random questions and then I'll see what I still think we should review. Worksheet 6 is the first place you want me to go to do some? Okay. Worksheet 6, there are some things that are on the quiz and some that aren't. This is permutations and combinations largely, okay? 3A and B are great questions. I don't know that they're exactly like one on the quiz at all, but we can certainly go over them. Is that the ones you wanted? Okay. How many 6-digit license plates can be manufactured? This is the way I think of this question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different slots on the license plate, okay? This is a trick question. How many digits in our number system? 10, because there's 0 through 9, right? So that's a total of 10. Everybody good? It doesn't say anything about repeats. So it's just 10 to the 6th or a million. It's not a permutation or combination question because those assume you can't reuse anything. They're different choices. Does that make sense? I had to think about that for a little bit, but for both of those, it's talking about without repeating. I still didn't put enough zeros on here, did I? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? When you talk about permutations and combinations, there can never be any repetition. Somebody can't do the same thing twice. Okay. All right, 3B says, what if no license plate can begin with 0? Okay, this is a tricky question. I like it, but it's kind of a tricky question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we can't start with a 0, how many choices do we have to start with? 9. No digit can be repeated. How many do we have for the second one? Okay, she's absolutely right. There's still 9 because we took one out, but we put 0 back in the mix. And then it goes down because now we're using 1. Did I put enough blanks? If you were going to do this with a it would be a permutation, and you would have to just use a permutation for these and then multiply it by 9. I wouldn't ever do that. This makes way more sense to me. Okay, I don't know what that comes out. Less than 1 million. Like that? That's all? Okay, that's a lot less than 1 million. Was there other questions people have already run into? Okay, I'm going to go back to my little review that actually Ms. Abruzzo put these slides together. So she was thinking we needed to make sure we were good on simple probability and odds. Are we? Probability of rolling a 2, 1/6, a number 2 or greater. 5, right? We good? Odds of a multiple of 2. 2, 4, 6 work. That's 3 that work. And how many don't work? So it's even odds, we say, or 1 to 1. A number less than 3. 2 work, 4 don't. So 1 to 2 odds. We good? She thought maybe we should talk about, do we need any of these? Like an or question? There's a bag of marble questions on the quiz. They're really not hard, right? But this says blue or white. So that means there's how many winners? 9 winners. And there was 13 and 9, 22 marbles. Did I add that right? Anybody got this done already? 15, 22. I think so. Okay. What if we did the odds question that said drawing a green or red? How many green or red are winners? 13. If it's an odds question, it's not out of 22. It's winners to losers, so there's 9 losers. Everybody okay? Probability is winners out of total. I always think of odds as winners to losers. On that same sheet? I don't know that I have that slide. Let me find it here. What is the probability of selecting a heart or a queen? I always just think of how many hearts. There's 13, right? And how many more queens? There'd be 3 more queens that we didn't already count. So there's a total of 16 winners out of 52 cards, which would reduce to 4/13 maybe? Did I reduce that right? Better? You want the fancy explanation? You'd find the probability of a heart plus the probability of a queen minus the probability of a queen that's a heart. But I don't ever use that definition. The next thing Abruzzo said we should talk about is the back of worksheet 3. There are definitely some questions like these. There's one, not some, okay? But if the probability an event will occur is 3 out of 7, what are the odds the event will occur? Okay, so in my mind, this is 3 winners out of 7 ways it can happen, right? 7 total. So if we want odds that it will occur, we want what? 3, 2, 4. Okay, a little more complicated, but might be the quiz question. If the probability event will occur is 2 to 5, what are the odds the event will not occur? Okay, so 2 is that it will, right? 5 total ways that can happen. So if we want it to not occur, we want not to will, right? How many are not? 3, the difference. And will, we already said was 2. So 3 to 2. Need me explain that differently, anybody? I can try. Okay, if the odds an event will occur are 7 to 4, what is the probability the event will occur? So 7 winners, 4 losers. So what's the probability? 7 out of 11, right? That's 7 winners out of 11 total. Right. There's one question on the quiz, like one of those. All right. 4B, she said maybe we should look at some of these. If you're working on homework and not doing these with me and you run into a question, throw your hand up, okay? And we'll talk about what you have a question on. Yeah. Okay, 4A, 22. We'll come back to 4B in a second. 4A, 22. Okay. The spinner at right has 4 equal-sized sections. Suppose you spin the spinner twice. What is the sample space? Okay. 1 and a 1, 1 and a 2, 1 and a 3, 1 and a 4. What else could happen? Okay. 2 and a 2. That's a good question. Does the order matter? Right. So you did 2 and a 1, 2 and a 3, 2 and a 4, 3 and a 1, 3 and a 2, 3 and a 3, 3 and a 4, or 4 and a 1, 4 and a 2, 4 and a 3, 4 and a 4. Okay? I suppose it depends what's going on, right? But I'm thinking that the order probably would matter. Like if you're playing a game, right? It matters if you get a 1, then a 3, or a 3 and then a 1, depending how you're going to land. I don't know. Depends, I guess. Anyway, if we did, there's not an ambiguous question like this. So this would be 2 to the 4th. Oh, how many outcomes are there? Would be 2 to the 4th or 16, which you just listed. What's the theoretical probability of getting a sum of 4? So this row adds up to 4, right? This diagonal, sorry. So 3 out of the 16? Yep. Not happy with that question. Wouldn't put that on the quiz the way it is at all. And there isn't one where I ask you to list a sample space. Okay. Yes. I will probably take either one. I would prefer the fraction, but it's fine. If you give me a percentage, I'll deal with it. Okay, back on the review, we were looking at 4B. Okay, what's the probability that someone in our table here earns over $30,000 and has less than a high school education? Earns over $30,000 and has less than a high school education. So 2 seems right. Out of it, someone totaled it all up. I feel like I have that totaled up somewhere on a slide. 4. Yeah, no, I don't. Okay, just kidding. Here goes Blurt again. I hate probability. Has a high school education or less. So now we're talking everybody in these two rows, right? And earns over $30,000. So now we're talking both of those people, both of those right there. So 16 out of whatever, which I'm going with doesn't reduce, I don't know. Okay, has a college degree and earns less than $20,000. College degree and earns under $20,000 is just these 13, right? On a test or quiz, on the quiz, this number 6 could be worded probability that someone earns less earns less than 20,000 given college degree. Okay, it could be worded like that. Does that make sense? Just kidding. That would change the denominator. All right, let's do that question because there are some given questions. So this is an extra question. Earns less than 20,000 given they have a college degree. So given they have a college degree means we're out of only these, right? Someone's adding that up for me. What is it? Thank you. And what's the chance that they earn less than 20,000 would be 13 out of that. Okay. I just want to make sure we hit on that given thing, and I badly worded it to start with. Good thing you guys fix me all the time. What else? The next thing she has is something like this, probability of randomly selecting.
Probably.
Oh, did they show up today?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anytime. All right, guys. A store displays 2 red shirts, 1 blue, 3 shirts with red and white stripes, 2 pair of blue jeans, 1 pair of white pants, and 1 pair of white shorts. What is the probability of Randy selecting an item that is white or red on it? So we're going to pick one item out of all of it. Is that what that's trying to say? That question is kind of confusing me. 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1. Are there that many items? 10 items? That seems right because there's some choices of 10, right? Okay. White or red? Okay. These all, no. That one has red shirts, blue shirt, red and white, blue jeans, white pants, white shorts. 7 out of 10? Did anybody get that? Okay. Yep, that question just hurt my head. Do you want me to do some more of these or not? Well, let's try this one. What's the probability of Randy selecting a complete outfit? 1 shirt and 1 bottoms on 2 picks. So if you go to pick the first time, there's 10 items to pick from, right? You go back to pick, there's only 9 items to pick from. But does it matter if you got the shirt or pants first? So how many of the other would there to be to pick from? So if you got a shirt, oh, it isn't going to matter because there's still the same number. How many pants are there? Bottoms? 4? Was it 4? Okay, so I'm thinking 4 out of 36 or 1/9, and that's not a choice. 4 out of 9. Oh my goodness, someone help my brain. Oh, because you're picking one item, but yes, okay. So if we're going to pick a shirt first and then pants or, okay, yes. So this was 6 out of 10 and 4 out of 9. Or you could have said, I'm going to pick the shirt first, which would have been 4 out of 10. And then I'm going to pick pants, which is now 6 out of 9, which is why it doesn't matter. Thank you. It's a good thing someone's got my brain today because it's not me. 24 out of 90 reduces to what, guys? Okay. Kind of feel like I should go back and do 2, see if I can redeem myself. What's the probability of randomly selecting 2 items and getting a pair of blue jeans, putting them back in the display, and then randomly selecting a blue shirt? So blue jeans was 1 or 2, guys? 2 were out of 10? And then you put it back, so you're still out of 10. What's the chance the second time you picked a blue shirt? Was there only 1 blue shirt? Or so I got 2 out of 100 or 1 out of 50? Okay, this was with replacement, this was without. And there's not one like number 3 on the quiz necessarily, where it's two totally separate things. There is a without replacement question, but it's clearer than that. The next one she picked was 6A, 9 and 10. There's something like this on the quiz, I think. Are we good? The difference between these? Committee of 3 out of whatever that said before I scribbled on it. 14? Okay, how we do that? Yep. Why is it C and not P? Right, we don't want to count ABC and BAC differently. They're the same committee. My old calculator, I have to go 14, math, 364. Did someone else get that answer? Okay. This is a permutation question, but I never do it as a permutation question. We're going to elect a president, a vice president, and a secretary. We have 15 people, so the first time we have 15 to vote from, then 14, then 13, right? You can do 15P3, but I just like this better. I don't know what that comes out, though. 2730, like that? Fati, you agreeing with me? Okay. I was like, he's looking cross-eyed, and he probably knows this better than I do, so something's wrong. All right, 6B. Oh, there's a question. This is just a counting principle question, right? There's one like this. Hey, give me 1 minute. Okay. 3 airlines, 5 hotels, and 4 rental cars company. How many different arrangements? So this is just 3 times 5 times 4, right? Which is sounding like 60. This is 6B number 3. Okay. I'm going to pause the video for a second. What? Okay, guys, I'm recording again. Okay. 5B, somebody has a question. I didn't review any of the parametrics or the, we could do a couple completing the square eccentricity questions quick, but what's on 5B that you have a question about? Only 93% of parts being examined pass inspection. What is the probability of all 5 of the next parts will pass? 93 to the 5th. Because it's independent. Each one is a 93% chance, okay? All right. Okay, guys, please. What about this? This is on the quiz. If I was doing this one over here, I'd take a -1y squared minus 12y plus blank and move everything else to the other side. I would complete the square. This would be a minus 36 on this side. So I'd have equals -2x minus 6. And then I would divide by the -1. And then actually I would take the 2 out as well. And I write parabola. Guys, what's the eccentricity of a parabola? No, parabola is just 1. Circle is just 0. The other 2 are C over A. And the definition of both C and A is different, right? Depending if it's an ellipse or a hyperbola. Okay? If you need more practice, guys, on either 7.4a or 7.4b, there is remediation over there. Okay? Parametrics? Yes? No? Do we need a review of parametrics? Okay, how about this kind? Can you eliminate theta? Or x over 3 squared would equal cosine squared, and y over 5 squared would equal sine squared. So if you add those together on this side, you get 1, and on the other side, you get x squared over 9 plus y squared over 25. Okay. I hope you have all done the practice on those projectile motion questions, because you can't bring me your calculator and go, this isn't working. That's what the practice is for, guys. Yes. Parametric mode won't hurt anything if for anything you're doing on the home screen. That's a good question. No. Unless, yeah, the degrees and radians, I think you can be in degrees this whole quiz and you'll be fine, okay? Lemon, that one. If it changes to meters per second, if the question, then it would be negative 9.8, but it's not on the quiz. It's feet, and on the final it's feet, so it's negative 16. Oh, maybe it is. It's half of 9.8, so it's 4.9. Yes, because otherwise it's half G on the sheet. You know, you're right. It's half of 9.8, I think.